Different monies come and go. However, there's one, insofar as we know, that has passed the test of time, and that money is gold. In this second video, I will explain why other monies have vanished and how gold derived its title as the historic king of all monies. As we established earlier, money can be anything. It can be a chocolate bar or it can be a cow. However, according to Dr. Saifeddin Ammous, in order for money to be widely accepted by everyone in a society, it must be able to store value across scales, space, and time. After all, a store of value happens to be the second function of money, storing value across scales. A cow, for instance, can be used as a medium of exchange. Yet, if you think about it, a cow isn't very good at storing value across scales. Imagine if you wanted to buy an apple with a cow. It would be quite strenuous to break down a cow for just one apple. Furthermore, what part of the cow or how much of the cow has the same value as an apple? Storing value across space. Continuing with the example of using cows as money, if we wanted to buy a house in another city, we could potentially walk a herd of cows across town to make the payment. Now, although it would take an immense amount of time to do so, the cow does, kind of, retain value across space. However, what happens when we want to buy a house in a country across the Atlantic? Well, all of a sudden, transporting the cow across space to buy that house is no longer a feasible option. Storing value across time. Lastly, and most importantly, storing value across time proves to be one of the most difficult challenges for all monies that have ever existed. If you worked a construction job and got paid in cow milk or cow meat, you have a limited amount of time to do something with these perishable monies. Either consume them or spend them, but don't keep them, otherwise they'll go bad. Hence, storing the value of your construction labor in these items would come at your expense. Say instead you got paid in live cows. Well, if you're lucky, you'll have the cow for 20 years before it dies of old age. However, if death wasn't your main worry, your second and arguably more important worry ought to be the bad actors wanting to increase their wealth by mass breeding cows and buying all of the economy's resources with their newly bred cows. This mass production of cows, in other words, creates inflation in a cow-based monetary system, and slowly but surely, the purchasing power of each one of those cows diminishes. Gold. So, although a lot of things are able to store value across both scales and space, scarce precious metals have proven to be the best at storing value across all three. They are divisible and easy to scale for different types of transactions, small or big. They can be transported across space with relative ease, and they can store value across time. For instance, gold, unlike silver or copper, is an extremely difficult element to mine from the Earth's crust. It requires a lot of energy to mine, and doing so doesn't exactly result in a lot of newly mined gold. In this way, if a society uses gold as money, the same bad actors that bought all of the economy's resources in the aforementioned cow monetary system by mass producing cows won't be able to just as easily inflate the gold money supply. Thus, gold proves to be an excellent store of value across not just scales and space, but also time. Stick around for the next video to find out how this poster boy for money inevitably failed. And let me give you a clue. It has to do with storing value across space.